In light of Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, I'd like to introduce to you John. John is a 43-year-old male who he thought he was healthy, and he never sought a doctor. In fact, the last time he sought a doctor was in his early 30s. He started developing symptoms of pelvic pain and urinary symptoms, urinary changes, and he thought he should get it checked out. He finally went to see the doctor, and after undergoing a physical exam, a 1.5 millimeter mass was identified, and he had to go through the workup, and eventually he got his diagnosis, and it was prostate cancer. And you can only imagine the emotions that was going through John's head. Cancer. I'm 43 years old. Where did this come from? I think I'm healthy. I'm healthy. I exercise. I eat healthy. Where did this come from? No family history. And so he had many emotions going through his mind. He is a father, a husband, and the caretaker of his parents. There are people who depend on him. And now he's been hit with a major disease. He didn't know how to navigate this. He was concerned. There was a lot of anxiety, thinking about work, thinking about money, thinking about treatment. How is he going to get through his treatment? How is he going to be that provider for his family, his parents? It changed his whole world. His world was turned upside down when he had received the cancer diagnosis. Quality of life wasn't there. He was depressed. He was worried all the time. He didn't know what this meant. It concerned him until one day the Lord impressed upon John's heart to really not allow the cancer to determine his fate. He was determined to get to the bottom of this and find out what happened. Where did it come from? Why did it happen? What were the drivers of this prostate cancer? Like most people, John thought that he was eating healthy. He thought that his diet was healthy, and there's nothing that he could be consuming that could likely be contributing to his prostate cancer. He was healthy, he was fit, didn't struggle with diabetes, didn't struggle with insulin resistance, didn't struggle with obesity or hypertension. These were not concerns for John. So he thought he was healthy. But he was destined to find out what was driving his pathology. He wanted a better future. He wanted to see his son graduate from high school. He wanted to be that provider for his wife and his parents. He wanted to go back to having the lifestyle that he had, enjoying going out with his friends and being with his family, being happy again, because his cancer diagnosis pushed him into depression. He was really concerned about what tomorrow held for him. What if I told you today that there are foods that you might be consuming and you think they're healthy, but they're actually driving your prostate health issues? I'm going to cover the top foods to avoid if you have a prostate issue. Number one, dairy. Dairy is high in amounts of growth hormones and other hormones such as estrogen and progesterone. And these hormones drive hormone-sensitive tumors, okay? We want to avoid dairy. If you're a male and you have a prostate issue, or you're at risk for prostate cancer, or you currently have prostate cancer, you want to make sure to avoid dairy. Dairy drives a lot of prostate cancer cell proliferation. In fact, men who consume dairy have an 30% increased risk for prostate cancer. But I have good news for you. Almond milk is an alternative to dairy milk, and it's been shown to suppress prostate cancer progression by 30% as well. Number 2, eggs. Eggs have been shown to drive prostate cancer. Men who consume 2.5 eggs or more per week have an 81% chance of dying from lethal prostate cancer. In fact, John consumed eggs almost every day because he thought they were healthy. And as most people think, eggs are healthy. But for people who have prostate issues or hormone-sensitive conditions, choline can be a driver for prostate cancer. Number 3, red meat, red processed meat, bacon, hot dogs, even chicken and turkey. When these foods are fried at high temperatures, they increase the release of heterocyclic amines, which are drivers for prostate cancer or hormone-sensitive conditions. Heterocyclic amines are known carcinogens, and they're mutagenic in nature, meaning that they have the ability to change our DNA. And so if you're consuming these foods and you're cooking red meat at high temperatures or these meat products at high temperatures, they have the ability to release these carcinogens into the food and facilitate the progression of a prostate cancer. Number 4, fish. Men who consume fried fish are twice as likely to develop prostate cancer. John consumed fish almost every day, and to his surprise, he didn't know that fish are typically contaminated with dioxins and BPAs and phthalates and microplastics and heavy metals such as mercury. And a lot of the environmental toxicants that are in fish store in the fat. So the fattier the fish, the more toxins they hold. And these toxins can mobilize when they're consumed, mobilize in our bodies and have the ability to bind to hormone receptors and cause problems. And so if there is a hormonal or a hormone-sensitive condition the person has, that is a problem, and you're exposing yourself to those chemicals that can be a driver to the etiology of the disease. And in this case, for John, it was prostate cancer. So that was quite a shock to John, but because he has a prostate issue, he ought to be very careful about consuming fried fish. Men consuming chicken and turkey have up to 4 times the risk of prostate cancer progression. Number 5, French fries and donuts. Many people like French fries and donuts. Men consuming fried, fatty French fries and donuts 1 time or more per week have a 37% increased risk for prostate cancer. This was very shocking to John because he liked French fries. And little did John know that the French fries he was consuming with his fried fish was actually driving his prostate condition. The very last item on the list to avoid is alcohol. For general health, for any condition you have, you want to avoid alcohol. But for men who have prostate disease, consuming 3 or more drinks per week are twice as likely to be diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer. So men, stay proactive, get your checkups, and think twice about the foods that you are putting into your body because they can likely be driving your prostate issue.